Hello everyone from Accra. We're at the Accra Ridge Church today and I'm here with Reverend Lydia. Reverend Lydia, could you briefly introduce yourself to our listeners?
Greetings everyone. My name is Rev Lydia Neshangwe. I am out here in Ghana, and yesterday, as part of the Global Christian Forum activities, we went out to Cape Coast, and Cape Coast is the destination of the castles where there were dungeons that housed the slaves that were taken, women and men, to across the Atlantic to other parts of the world. And so it was a very different experience, but a very impactful experience.
Did you feel it was important for the group to travel there? It was a long way. And did you think the worship of lament and reconciliation helped to round up the experience?
Absolutely. In actual fact, I believe that everybody around the world should make it their mission to come and view these dungeons, so-called castles, but they're really dungeons. The reason being is it will give you perspective, and it will show you what human beings are capable of doing to one another. And it's not the kind of place where we want to be in denial about it, but it's the kind of place where we want to acknowledge what happened in those days, and then once we have acknowledged that, to say to ourselves, never again. Because slavery happened, yes, long ago, in that 15th century, but there is still some modern day slavery, and so we are still at risk of being people that will enslave one another.
So we heard yesterday as well that, especially in the UK context, churches are reflecting on the past and how they were involved in slavery. And we heard from the Church of England specifically that they're setting aside a very large amount of money to make reparations. Some people say it's not enough, and other people are very upset that the money is spent on something that happened in the past. So why don't we spend it on a church that is struggling financially?
Yes.
What would you say to people who are afraid of giving away that money?
All right. So with respect to reparations, the bottom line is that when the hurt and the atrocities were done, they were done by a group of people to another group of people. So reparations have to happen from a group of people to another people. And that is important because that will bring the healing that is necessary. And when people talk about healing, they ask me, why? How can we heal something that happened centuries ago? It is very important because the act of slavery and the act of transporting people from their continent and stealing them and forcing them across to another continent was actually an act of creating the inferiority and the superiority complexes that have been established ever since. And so the reparations will help in order to do basic things like education, basic things like food security, basic things like creating employment, so that we don't have a world in which some are permanently inferior and others are permanently superior.
Thank you very much, Pastor Lydia. It was a joy to speak to you today. Enjoy the rest of the Global Christian Forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.